What's going on, everybody? Yeah, you feel the music, right? Yeah, I had to put some fire on for this X-Men 97, as you can see right here. Well, I had it right there. Right there. Episode 3, Fire Name Flesh. Uh, yeah, this was a good episode. Let me do something real quick. Yeah. So this episode picks up basically where episode 2 left off, with them discovering that there's another Jean Grey. And if you're familiar with the comics and the multiple videos that I did reactions to, um, I want to say, yeah, one of the videos I did a reaction to talked about it, where they was going to be doing they're going to be taking the storylines from the comic books that deal with Mr. Sinister and the Madeline Pryor and the Goblin Queen and all that type of stuff. So we get those good story beats here. Yeah, this was a good episode. I enjoyed this episode, man, because especially when you found out who was who and what was what. Like, but yeah, it picks up directly from that beginning where Jean comes in saying she needs the X-Men. They do the test, and Beast discovers that using some gamma radiation are called back to the previous series. I think the Night of the Sentinels in the original series, where Jubilee asks where do they get their powers from? How come they're like this? And he did mention gamma radiation as one of the possible many things that could be the reason. Um, and we got a call back to that here when he says he used that to determine that one gene was is the actual clone, and the other was the real gene. And if you know your comic books, you know which one it was. So, and you know, she's like, no, I'm the real Jean. I've been in the battle with you guys. I done this. I know who I am, and she can't even. She don't even know who she is. She can't even remember faces, and she's sure that Jean is the clone. And I mean, just for the people who don't know, I'm purposely leaving out which Jean is saying which. But if you know your comic book history, you know who I'm talking about. You know which Jean I'm talking about. So yeah, Jean is basically trying to convince everybody that she's the real Jean, but Beast basically reveals that Jean in particular is not the real Jean, which is the clone, while the other Jean is the right age and everything to be the real Jean, while the other one, while similar, is the clone. And that one, she's so sure of herself, but then she get a mysterious call through the baby monitor from none other than Mr. Sinister. And he this creepy bastard, man, it's the way he messes with the Madeline Pryor clone Gene, and make her realize that she's the clone, and her rage and anger turns her, and with Mr. Sinister controlling her, turns her into the Goblin Queen. And uh man, dude, that's when this episode picks up. When she becomes the Goblin Queen, that whole X mansion becomes a house of horror. I mean, she makes everyone live their worst nightmares. Uh, she messes with Remy LeBeau, aka Gambit. I'm like, why she did my boy Gambit dirty. Yeah, that's Disney. Come on, man. I don't want to talk about it, but there's a weird scene with Morph, and Morph does something weird that could be considered woke, and then it couldn't be. And I'm not talking about the scene where they made him take it uh when he gets mind possessed and he turns into the girl. No, that's not the scene that everybody's complaining about. It's this one that wins in the match, and yeah, it because I heard the argument that it was just him being a playful goof trying to freak out Wolverine, and that's why it played out like that. He was trying to freak out Wolverine, but then it flipped the script and freaked him out, and because it wasn't really Wolverine, and I get that, but it still was weird. But moving on from that, yeah, it was good. It was good. They transitioned to go get Scott's baby, um, the young Cable, the mutant who will become Cable. Um, they go get. If you don't know your history too, I said I gave you the hint right there with Cable, which one is the clone and which one is the real one. Because if you know that version of the comic books, you know who was the clone in that sense. Because only the clone gene has Cable, um, and they when they get there and they have to fight Sinister and the Goblin Queen. I mean, she is just on a different level. I mean, she is just thrashing the X-Men. Um, oh, the regular Jane does get involved in the mansion. Mansion one kinds of I would say she's the reason why in the mansion that kind of goes a certain way into in their favor. It goes that way because of her. But other than that, she does get involved where they had to fight Sinister at the castle and whatnot. But besides the whole morph thing, this episode was good. I enjoyed it. Like I barely until it was pointed out, I barely even realized that it was a thing. Like I didn't like when I first saw that, I didn't even register it because I was so into the fact that I knew that this was a fake out and that Mr. Sinister was messing with Morph that I barely paid attention to um, the whole weirdness with Morph and Wolverine in that scene. Um, but I would say that it was there, and once people started complaining about it in that scene, and I was like, oh, okay, that's the scene they're talking about. Like I wish it is. That's how much they focus on it. It was so nonchalant. It was so minuscule that yeah, I don't think it really mattered at that point. Can it be considered woke? Yes, it can be. It really can be. But I don't care because I didn't notice it. That's how good the episode was. I didn't pay attention to that at first. I know this is not Wolverine. Oh, that's Mr. Sinister mess. That's Goblin Queen messing with Morph. Uh Yeah, the castle battle was good. They do start to answer some questions of why Bishop is there, and even though he wasn't there at the end of the previous season, but he's all of a sudden there now, and they do have some time travel in there per se to answer some questions or even open some more doors for some more questions. But overall, I would give this episode a I would give it a 8. I would give no. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. 9 10. This was good. This was good. I enjoyed it. There was nothing wrong with the episode. I mean, I'm not even. It's not. I'm not even saying because of the whole morph scene. That's why I'm not. That's not the reason why. It wasn't a perfect 10. Oh my god, episode, but it was definitely a 9 out of 10 for me. But you let me know in the comments down below what you thought, and if you enjoy my review of this, you hit this button right there for all of my reviews, like for movies and TV. So, because we do, I meant to say this at the beginning, but I got two movie reviews after this that we're gonna jump into. So a lot of things we're gonna jump into from movie reviews and some reactions. So anyway, and if you enjoyed the video so much and want to support the channel, you know to do hit those buttons. And because when you do, we grow slowly but surely. And thank you to all my loyal subscribers. And as always, hit any one of these videos for more of my amazing content. But before I go, I know you was digging that song, so peace, y'all.